How on earth is stalemate a draw? I can tell you that there are many dissenting voices that consider that this rule of stalemate should be abolished in chess because they perceive it as being a little bit unfair for when you have taken all your opponent's pieces and they have nothing to play with, no legal moves, but the king itself is not in check. Still, they pull a draw. Okay, so I'm not getting into the politics of this rule, but what I can give you today is the practicality of it for you guys to use it and not to lose when you are on the, so to speak, losing part and you just got a king and no other legal moves, but you're not in check. Now, very concretely, a couple of scenarios here. Let's look at this, guys, together. Now, black is pretty much toast here. Okay, so you pretty much done. That's it. You're down in material. It's incredibly painful. Rook is being hit here. I mean, oh boy. I mean, that's just going to be the end of it, right? Well, if you spend a couple of more seconds, you might be able to find a position in which you sacrifice the rook. And upon taking your rook, you actually will be in stalemate. So you're going to give a check, right? Now the king has to move. That happens. And now you can play your rook sacrifice. So you're going to give the piece completely. They can't deny, they can't move down the board because they're still in check. So they have to take your rook. And upon taking your rook, oh boy, now that's your turn to play. Where do you move? Because all the squares are covered by opponent's pieces, but you are not in check. And you have nothing else to play with. So that's a stalemate, can be used. It happens, not very often, but it does happen. So I think it's good to know this stuff and keep it in mind. For instance, this position here. It is black's to play. You are in deep trouble here. You are tons of pieces down here, so you are kind of losing here. Perhaps if you just play a move that places your king in a stalemate, you're going to draw. And you're going to play a forcing move. That's cool about this kind of scenarios is that you're playing forcing moves. For instance, get the queen over to e6. You check the king and you fork attacking the queen simultaneously. So they can't say, I'm going to move the king away because you're going to take their queen and then they're going to be losing. So they are forced to take your queen. Upon taking your queen, guess what? Where you going to move? You got no other legal moves. Pawn can't move, and the king itself can't move anywhere. All the squares are covered by your opponents, but you're not in check. Therefore, draw. Painful. I know. I got young students that actually are horrified when this thing happens, and they are absolutely so frustrated. They start crying because, they fought, actually, they've cornered, they surrounded the opponent's king, and still they do not win. Yeah, I know. It happens. Okay, this position here, we've got a checkmate in a move. Can you guys maybe find a way for white not to lose and actually to draw? Crazy, but it's possible. You're going to play rook over to a8, stopping them obviously from checkmating you in a move because you got a king's opposition, etc. So now they have to take your guy, and if they don't take, you're going to win regardless, so they must take, but it's not over. They're still threatening checkmate on a1, right? Well, it's not quite over. You still got one little guy that will make all the difference. Queen attacking the rook and guarding the a1 square against the checkmate in a move, back rank. So they have to take, but when they take, oh, stalemate again. Unbelievable, unbelievable, but it's actually very, very much playable. Okay, let's have a look at this position. Very dire situation, very difficult here. Oh no, what am I going to do here? You can't win. The rook is far away. This guy is going to be promoting. There is one little trick up your sleeves now, guys, and if you play this one correctly, you are going to be drawing. Still good, draw, way better than losing. So if you can, go for it. So now let's just try find something cool. Let's just try playing this rook here because we're checking the king. Again, we are forking the rook, forcing our opponent to be capturing. And when they capture, oh, where do you move? No more legal moves. King not in check. They have to play, but nowhere to go to. Therefore, stalemate. Voila, draw. The other guy would be really upset now, but you would be happy because you haven't lost. Okay, let's have a look at another situation here, guys. Black is in deep trouble. you're in deep trouble here. Not just queen versus queen, but actually there are two passes here, which alarmingly will be moving down the board. So you will be pretty much losing the game. Give it a few seconds, pause the video, look at the position here, and tell me what do you think you can play with black to generate a stalemate. Now, you've got to sacrifice the queen, and when by doing so, you're going to be in a stalemate. I'm sorry, I'm not going to lose it. Let's look at the queen on b6 now. Nicely, if we're just moving the queen, not on f6. That's a mouse slip, by the way. You go nicely on g6 here, checking the king, forking the queen. They have to take, and when they do, oh, stalemate again. I'm not losing for sure. Not today. Not today. Let's have a look at this one here. Beautiful position. Again, black is a little bit in trouble here. You got a massive threat here. Rook to h8, checkmate, right. I mean, this is just game over. Okay, but we still have one last little resource here. Where are we supposed to sacrifice the black rook on b7? Because, by the way, king can't move, which is good. So where do we go with the rook so that we sacrifice it and then stalemate again? So this rook is on the 7th rank. Can we perhaps play here? Of course we can. Checking the king, forking the bishop. They're in check. They must take. And when they do so, our king would be in a stalemate right there, guys. Let's have another look at this exercise here. What can we do? Can we play a stalemate? Of course we can. Again, very nicely, the black queen is going to sacrifice itself, playing a forcing move, and upon taking your queen, again, stalemate just simply ensues right here. Let's try this one. Perfect. Checking, attacking the queen, can't move away the king, because if they move away, you're going to take their queen. And when they take you, you'll actually be in a stalemate position. And perhaps the last exercise, I don't want to make it too long, guys. Of course, black is toast here completely. These guys will be coming down. You've got the queen. I mean, this is just losing for black. Unless you find a saving move here, you're going to be sacrificing the queen, and you're going to stalemate the king. Where do you stalemate? Okay, now don't play wishful chess. It's very important. Now you got two options. You might say, either this or that. They both will do. Nope, only one will do. Remember, you've got to play forcing moves, forkings and forcing moves here. If you do this stuff, you're hoping that they might be taking you, and then you're going to be in a stalemate. Actually, you got a big problem. You just lost the game, because white queen, instead of taking you, will be playing something like queen d8. So forget about the draw. You have just lost. The only move that actually guarantees you're going to draw, therefore not to lose, you're going to get stalemated, it's queen here very nicely, because that's a forking move. Checks the king, attacks the queen, queen must take, and upon taking all the dark squares, can't move, can't move, can't move. Stalemate. Well, if the rule it's still functioning today, let's take advantage of it and let's lose less, so to speak. Maybe we're going to win more if we perfect our game, looking at the opening, middle game, and end game tactics, guys. Thanks very much for watching this short video. I'll see you soon enough, sooner than you think. Thank you.